Hi and welcome. I'm Jason Fierstein, the counselor for men and couples. I want to talk today on this video about relationship reactivity. I think a lot of the time when we get into a conflict with our partner, we end up saying and doing and thinking things and communicating those things to our partner that create reactive tendencies both in us and in them. So if you can think about a snowball, when a snowball is rolling down the side of a mountain, picking up velocity, picking up volume, and it's growing bigger and it's growing out of control and it's careening down the side of the mountain, it will destroy something at the bottom of the mountain. It's an imminent destruction, and I think that that's what we do within the context of our relationship conflict. We end up reacting to each other's reactions back and forth, and we create this ping pong effect, and it's hard to put your finger on, well, where did it come from? And I hear couples talking about, well, who's to blame? How do we know? When everything gets so entangled, we're reacting to each other's reactions. So I think, first off, it's just important to put a name on it, to say that it's true. We are reacting to each other's reactions. Putting a name on it just helps. It makes it feel less overwhelming and less confusing. So just naming that, hey, we both are contributing to this conflict. We're both reacting to each other's reactions. And reactions can take place in the form of facial expressions, body language or movement, heated words, words that hurt, reactive type words, or behaviors, actually leaving the house, getting in the car and driving away, throwing things, anything like that I think can contribute to reactive behavior. So it's important to just put a name on it. Second of all, using it as an example, this idea that men tend to avoid their feelings or avoid conflict situations for a couple reasons that I want to talk about. Because I'm a counselor for guys, I know how guys work, and I know that we as men tend to avoid our feelings for several reasons. One, sometimes we're afraid of our own fear, of our own rage. So our minds create these huge stories about, well, don't lose it, because if you do, you're going to end up putting your fist through the wall, or you're going to end up doing something that you regret later. The fear could also say, I'm afraid of this conflict. I'm afraid of my wife or my girlfriend being upset with me. I can't stand to think that she's mad at something that I've done, so I can't take responsibility for that. So I'm going to avoid the conflict. And generally, we're just afraid of our own feelings, not just with anger, but other feelings. So we may avoid it, the situation, the conflict. We may leave the house. We may go up to the other room in the upstairs bedroom and shut the door, or just generally plug out. Now, this is not helpful in the long run. It may kind of take the stress out of the initial conflict, but you're also creating triggers for her. So, for instance, for women, you may be communicating to her that, well, I don't love you, or you're not important enough that I stay in this conflict situation. Even though that's not your intention and that might not be what's happening for you, that's what she may be taking from that. Women want to know that their guys love them, that they revere them. So by you checking out of a conflict situation, she may be translating that into, well, he doesn't love me, and he's leaving the situation. He always leaves the situation when we get into a conflict. She may react to that statement by saying hurtful things, by going right for the jugular, by shanking you with some words that hurt, with things that she may not really want to say to you, but she's saying them out of that reactive place because she's trying to bring you back into the conflict. She wants you to be present, even if there's anger, even if there's negative feelings. She wants to know that, hey, he's in this with me as a team, as a partnership. So when he leaves, I don't have him, and I feel those things, unloved, unattended to, unappreciated, avoided. So those are real feelings that get inspired in women, but their behavior or their words may be saying something different. They may be inadvertently said to hurt you or to bring you back into the conflict. So that is one example of something I see all the time with couples in terms of reacting to each other's reactions, which are reactions to the original reactions, and it just goes back and forth like that, and it never ends. So, one trick is to just take a breath, okay? Give your partner a hug and tell them, hey, this is going to be okay. I'm angry, you're angry, we're both angry. But in the spirit of not creating more reactive behavior, let's stop this. Let's just, hang out here, be present, and talk about us being angry. I'm angry, I want to talk about that. Instead of doing this reactive thing that just creates more tension. So that's one way that I would encourage you to just stop, assess what's happening, put a name on it. Hey, we're doing reactive behavior now. Taking some ownership for it and just hanging in there even if you're angry. So speaking from the pain that's coming up in your body, or speaking from a place that's not from your head. Sometimes our heads get us into trouble. Then you're connecting with your partner in a way that's from the heart and that's not from the head, where that reactive behavior tends to come from. If you're confused, email me. I'll give you some great tips. You can contact me through my website, through the Contact Us page, or call me. I'll be happy to talk with you. 602-309-0568. So thanks for watching this video on relationship reactivity, and I hope to talk with you soon. Take care.